evening and welcome to Monday night's Cork Live. I'm your host, Shin Hayes. I'm absolutely delighted to introduce my guests tonight. We have Sarah back with us. Again. I'm not going to say it again. And we also have my good buddies, the fantastic funky fashion Frolics. You're more than welcome, lads. I'm so delighted to have you here.
Thanks, Shin, and thanks a million for inviting us.
Sure, for God's sake. When you were down, we were going to dragged it.
Well, we were here around 8 weeks ago, and Shin said, lads, would you love to come on the show? And we were hoping to be able to do it that Monday, but then we had to fly back, so we're absolutely thrilled.
It's an honour to be here.
And plus, we had a great night last night with you, so this is, it's great to be here.
Of course, and I'm delighted to have you. So we're going to start off with Sarah telling us about her week.
Have we time?
How'd you get on, Sarah?
Very good. We opened the new group. It's really, really, really busy. So now I have 5 groups going. It was mental. It's a bit more tiring than I thought it would be. I thought it does structure me a little bit more, but still very tiring than running 4 groups. There's an extra amount of people coming in. I did think it was going to settle out the evening groups, kind of, balance it out. Instead, it attracted a whole new audience.
That's fantastic.
It is good. It's not good for me, but it's good.
Well, it is good for you.
It's busy, but in a good way.
Yeah, it's busy in a good way. It's good. It's good. It's busy. And it just goes to show, though, that it doesn't matter, even with time suiting people would automatically think that they'll all come to you. The time has to suit the person. So it just goes to show it's just another market, I suppose, for people to come in. That time will suit people. But we're moving house. We're in the process of moving house as well. Stress,
busy.
But a good stress, and it's our first time doing it together as well, so I'm loving that.
That's exciting, I know, but it's supposed to be as stressful as a bereavement.
I think that because I don't have as much stuff in the house that I'm in, it's more getting this house ready. Do you know the bits and pieces that you need to do to it? So
it's the bits of clean and the cosmetic stuff, and then deciding where
everything's going. I wouldn't do the cleaning.
So where would you be going?
Sure, no.
You know what I mean? Right too.
I just think that my mum and dad kill me for it, but I just think a cleaner can cost anything from 10 to 15 euros an hour. Yeah. That's the cost of a Chinese.
I know what you're saying.
Have the Chinese.
And especially for that first big
when I was at my heaviest, I would always have 4 or 5 takeaways a week. So when I can justify paying for someone to come in and do my cleaning, it's done.
That's good.
Yeah.
It is. I
love the cleaning. I'd be up in the morning doing the skirting boards, hoovering the house.
I call him the minister for hygiene.
Yes, you'd be sitting in his house having a cup of tea and you just lift the cup.
No, you're not that bad. I wait 10 minutes.
So it's just getting them all ready now and getting there's a new kitchen going in and all that kind of bits and pieces. So it's really exciting. So I'm kind of stressed a little bit, but it's good stress. And I think for me and Brian, it's really good because it's the first thing we've done together. Obviously, we've had Luke together, but that was a really stressful pregnancy and all that too. So it's just nice to be happy, content and doing it together and being in love while we're doing it,
Very romantic.
I told you before, nice things happen to nice people.
Oh, thanks, Shin.
No, genuinely.
Yeah, I know.
I'm delighted things are going well.
I am too. It's kind of strange though how it's all coming together because the two of us sat the other night when we got the key and we were saying 6 months ago we would have never thought that we would have even been back together or that it would have worked out that way. But as I said, even we were both saying together that things happen for a reason. And it does happen. Thank you. It does happen for a reason. It is. And I remember even going through, we were apart for 8 months and all that, to think now we are now, everything that happened while we were apart has happened to get us where we are now. So I'm delighted. I really am.
That's lovely.
So it's all exciting.
It's like a jigsaw that's all coming together.
It is. And it just, and sometimes you do need to come apart for it to fall together because I know that there is a few people kind of messaged on social media going God, that's really quick for you to be kind of moving in, but we've known each other for years. We've had Luke together and stuff. So it's just all falling into place for me now at the minute. So all positive things happening. I'm loving it. Thanks a million.
Thank you. Mike, I'm going to start with you. Yourself and Paul have always been known as a power couple about the town.
Jesus, I don't know about that.
Yeah, always. I didn't know you as the power couple. But what inspired you to start Funky Fashion Frolics?
I suppose really we started it out of a love of fashion and fashion styling. I met Paul just over 5 years ago and I thought he was absolutely gorgeous when I met him.
I just want to know the story.
No, I know.
I'm going to get
but I did. I remember
tell me the story.
I remember the first time I met him and I suppose it was really like our first date. I was in the Bailey Bar in Dublin and I was waiting for him to come and I'd met him briefly before that with 2 or 3 weeks on the phone. Great crack, great chats every night. But But then this was properly meeting for the first time, and I was really, really nervous.
Proper jag, as we call it. We call it the jag. Yeah.
So I'm sitting there, and he says, I'm going to be down in 5 minutes. And I didn't know down from where, or which exit is he going to come in from, or whatever. And for around, because I have a short attention span, for around 2 of those minutes, I was fixing myself, and I was preening myself up, and, did I look okay? Checking myself out on my phone or whatever. And I'm not really vain, but I was really nervous about how was I going to look, and would he like me properly when he met me.
This is getting away from the question about the blog.
No, it's all leading.
It's all relevant.
It just kind of occurred to me when you asked me. And he came in anyway, and of course then I was on the phone. Of course, no blog at the time, so just big blog follower at the time, so watching everybody else's stuff and loved following blogs. And he tipped me on the shoulder, and I looked up, and I thought, oh my God, that is the face of God. Because I just realised just how handsome he was, And
Mike,
I immediately started, I couldn't shut up talking then, verbal diarrhea. He asked me, did I want a drink? I had one in front of me. I think I told him, yeah, I'll have another one. After around 5 minutes of non-stop talk, now you know me, Shin, I never shut up anyway.
Jesus, I know.
I never draw a breath. But I had to go into the toilet and calm myself down and say, look, if nothing comes of it, he's a really nice chap, and just go back out there, be yourself. And so I went back out, and I was a bit calmer, and I just relaxed, and I chatted to him, and all of a sudden, he was mad into fashion, I was mad into fashion. We were into the same kind of things, magazines, following blogs. We were both going to a lot of events separately.
Of course.
Paul was doing a bit of judging in the regional heats of Miss Ireland.
See, while you're telling that story, I'm picturing the milk tray ad and your man coming in with a box of chocolates.
And over the next 2 years, we were just going to events together then. We loved dressing up. We were going to a lot of race events. That's where we met you. You have become one of our best friends and genuinely love the bones of you.
What about me?
I met you today, and I feel like I know you all my life.
Give him time. Give him time, Sarah.
We're gathering a right puzzle.
You're the now. Do you know what I mean? I'll be on the phone with you this evening going, Sarah!
No, you won't.
No, I won't.
She's like, that ain't happening.
That's my friend.
So it was kind of out of that, I suppose, both of us love writing as well. Mm-hmm. So to be at these events together, we were saying, do you know what? We put normal posts up on our own Facebook page at the time about where we were. We were getting a good reaction. It took a lot of courage to set up a blog because both of us were saying, how will we be perceived? Would people think, those two Egypts setting up a blog? Very, very self-conscious around...
Of course, yeah.
Around actually sitting down to write the very, very first post, which we did on the final of the Miss Ireland. Look at the hurling, it's my Tipperary days. Jesus, imagine me with a hurley, but anyway.
No.
Three-piece hurley.
On the final of the Miss Ireland a couple of years ago, we sat down, we put a post together introducing ourselves, invited all our own friends to join, and I suppose from that day to this, we've worked very, very hard at building up our content, at getting ourselves out there, at getting to know people within the industry, making genuine friends, genuine connections. And our blog really, mostly it's about promoting boutiques, local Irish designers, fashion here and in the UK, a little bit of online content. The Frolics is all about fun, so we like to put up funny posts every so often just to lighten the mood. But generally, both of us are both qualified stylists, so that was another thing about setting up the blog. If we were doing it, we wanted to do it right. We wanted to lend credibility to it because we genuinely love describing fashion and dressing people for events, particularly ladies' fashion, even though, of course, we do a bit of gents as well. We just thought, go for it and see what happens. If it falls in its face, it doesn't matter. You tried. But as it happened, it grew.
But it didn't just
to
leave yourself exposed
to do it.
It is.
As such, isn't it?
Because you're putting yourself out there for criticism.
And it didn't grow overnight. It wasn't as quick as what people think. It took a lot of hard work.
You were constantly posting. I remember at the start, and I remember saying to you, how do you do that? Because I was after losing complete interest in mine at that stage.
Well, I'm a bit of an insomniac, I have to admit. If I get 3 good hours a night, I'm like a Duracell bunny.
Yeah. Oh, he's
I suffer with anxiety anyway, which I know it doesn't come across. I come across very, very confident.
Yeah.
Before, example, we came on air here this evening, I was actually really, really nervous, but the nerves helped me. But I would be quite anxious as a person. At times, do you know what I mean? Okay. And sometimes I'm awake at night.
I think normally
you know me very, very well.
But anybody else wouldn't.
But for anybody that wouldn't know me, they wouldn't realise. I'd be lying in bed at night, racing thoughts, or thinking about nothing and just being really tormented, trying to fall asleep. And I used to get up in the middle of the night and make the cup of tea or walk around the house, do a bit of cleaning or whatever, thinking it would tire me out, but it never did. So what I do now is I just stay in the bed for the night, because I reckon at least if I'm in bed, I'm resting.
You're resting.
Even if I am tired the next day, at least I stayed in bed.
It's the most confident people sometimes are the ones that do suffer with anxiety and stuff and all that. I would
they also hide it very well.
Yes. Yeah. I would be an anxious person as well, but I wouldn't come across that way.
Yeah.
Lately I would be more talkative about it, and if I'm on, like, I'd say, look, I am anxious, or I'll just take a few days out and then explain it.
I find that, and sometimes I find I can express myself better when I'm writing about something. I can take an hour and a half to talk about one little thing, whereas if I write it, I can connect the feelings to the emotion. Do you know what I mean? And I can get it down, and it'll come across.
You need that moment, though, don't you? To write. You need that moment to click, and then to just carry on with the writing.
Now, as well, Paul, I know you've had a hugely successful, busy year styling.
We have.
But where do you feel women make the most mistakes when dressing or piecing pieces
outfits
for their
together,
wardrobe? Or?
I suppose, Shin, when I meet a client or doing a styling session, it's number one, it's to advise women where to invest in their wardrobe. That's number one, is where to spend money wisely in your wardrobe. And that's your staple pieces, you know, your good blazer, your good shoes, good boots, good pair of jeans, whatever. I think when women make the biggest mistakes, well, if you pair it right back, in Ireland, a lot of women would wear the wrong underwear. You know, it's like the foundation to anything.
Or Diffley always says that it's from
so it's very important to have yourself properly measured and, you know, to wear the proper, as we say, foundation wear. Where women make big mistakes is women sometimes don't have enough confidence and with colour. Sometimes when I would go into maybe a store with a girl, and some women are instantly drawn to black. And that is like their mask. It's their comfort zone.
I used to be one of those people. I know I've black on now, but
yes,
the yellow walls
fabulous.
But,
beaming behind me. I have no choice.
You know, I think body shape analysis. If you get to know your body shape, what suits you. Women make mistakes. They see something on somebody else and think, oh, that would look good on me. It mightn't just be right on them. And you know, it's all about guidance,
of course,
and about where to invest in your wardrobe is very important. I always say to women as well, if you're buying, women say to me, I have to buy an outfit for a wedding, and I say, well, you don't have to buy an outfit for a wedding. You know, you have to buy something that you're going to wear.
That sounds like me. I'm like, I need an outfit for a wedding in 5 weeks.
Yeah, but I recently had a girl who was looking for a nice dress.
We were talking about this last week.
I had a girl recently, and she's a professional lady, and she was looking for a dress for work. And when we were out doing the shopping trip, she said, you know, I need to get something for the First Communion. So we went into Reese, and she tried on this beautiful classic dress, and I said, now you're going to kill two birds with one stone. Fabulous First Communion and fabulous for your office. And she said, you know, you're right.
Yeah.
You know, it's that kind of thing. And I always say, you know, when you're looking at an item of clothing, you have to justify and say, I always say, think of 3 separate occasions you will wear this piece.
Cost per wear is so important.
It's very important.
There's no point having something in your wardrobe that costs $1,000 and you can only wear it once.
But I'm shocked, and then you see, I'll say, well, I'll wear that now to the communion, and I'll wear it to
I'll never wear it
wedding if I'm invited. If I'm invited to a
I'd
wedding.
never again wear it.
I'll wear it going to bed if I have to, and that's my 3 words.
That's your 3 words. You're very good at justifying your wardrobe.
See, I find that if I put it on social media, that's it. God. Do you know? I find even my kids coming on here.
I change things around all the time. I could have a jumpsuit with a different belt.
I haven't got the initiative to do it, you see.
And accessories, you know, accessories.
I don't have the initiative to do that, just
huge
that's my
thing. But like, it's like, for instance, you know, when I was doing my styling course, and I suppose this is just knowledge, I remember the girl Laura Jordan, who was our very good tutor, and she said, you know, there's no point spending €500 on a gold sparkly dress to maybe wear once or twice and then buying a cheap coat. You're better off if you have that
front coat, no knickers.
Exactly. So you're well covered in a good coat. But it's where to spend money in your wardrobe, and I think that's where women make mistakes.
Absolutely. And even with us, like, people sometimes ask us, "Oh my God, do you guys own 100 suits?" We don't, but we'll mix and match. Do you know what I mean?
So it looks like
but you see the inside of their wardrobes. They have 100 suits.
Next time we're on Cork Live TV, I could be wearing that jacket.
Exactly. And we're similar in size. So it
is good because you
get
can
away with.
Yeah.
Now, Mike, as well, you're both very well known on the Irish racing scene, and I was privileged to be with you both last year at Bellewstown when you made history, Irish history, when you were crowned, or whatever you want to call it, best dressed couple.
Yeah,
that's right.
Ooh. That has never happened before.
It was the first time. I remember that night actually, Shin, you saying to me, lads, one of you might win Best Dressed Man.
Yeah.
And me saying to you, Shinny, we won't, because I won it previously, Paul won it previously.
Yeah.
And you said, but sure, there's a Best Dressed couple.
Yeah,
and I said,
he said,
we didn't even think.
I said, not at all, Shinny. I said,
You probably
quality has
just
come a
on
long
this.
way, but I don't think it's come this far yet. And, I was kind of making a joke,
and
that
I
didn't come
remember
across as a
thinking,
joke, but we were
sure,
roaring
you're
and
a
laughing
couple,
about that.
You're here.
And
True.
then the Best Dressed Man was announced. Sure, I knew it wasn't going to be us. We were clapping and cheering, and we're always very supportive of everybody, you know that. The Best Dressed Lady was announced, the same. We were delighted.
Yeah.
Came to the Best Dressed Couple, because I'm blogging like mad, the two of us. I'm getting ready to take the picture and do whatever. And they said Mike and Paul from... they didn't say
Did you know he died?
Frolics, they just said
We
Mike.
did.
Oh, he
Totally
nearly hit the
take
floor.
it.
So you with the phone out ready to take a picture?
I was ready to take
Yeah,
the
we were-
picture of the actual couple, the man and the woman, or
And I
whatever.
just got flung the phone then. Here's Shinny. And my little girl, I think, was giving your phone.
That's right, Sarah was doing
with
my
me at the
photos.
time.
And my legs nearly went from under me. And I remember us looking at each other and looking at you, and all of us kind of going, do you know what I mean?
Well, I remember going, yeah, see, I told you that.
She knew.
On the night when
Did you bet?
Right.
Did you bet on that? No.
No, God, I wouldn't know how to bet on it.
On the night what we thought was lovely after, there were, call it middle-aged men tapping us on the shoulder saying, well done, lads. And I thought, this is very touching. This is,
Yeah.
It
was a very, very proud moment.
Oh, it was
I have to say.
huge.
And your daughter Sarah was there as
That's
well.
right,
and
yeah.
she was even just...
Oh, she was so excited.
Jumping
and they
up
were
and
her
down
friends.
and-
They're not my friends, they're her friends.
Yeah.
And they
You know.
won, and they were up on the podium as the winners, and she was so proud. As was I, of course, but
We were-
she was
yeah, we
so
were
delighted.
And then we came back to Paul's house and to his lovely
right.
mum Jeanette, and she was just over the moon because she's so proud of every single thing that we do. And I think me, you and Jeanette were up until around 3 a.m. Just
If not later.
But it was
chatting,
lovely.
drinking tea,
Chatting.
but just
Yeah.
chatting and
Yeah.
chatting and chatting.
Yeah,
Not at all.
yeah. On the night it was lovely. As I say, we got huge support on the
you had to go
course.
to work the following
I had to go
morning.
to work.
I was just going to say, and where are you gone?
me and you were ladies of leisure.
I was
Of
looking
course.
I was looking after a bride at 8 o'clock in the morning. But, we got huge support and we thought, God, things have come a long way.
A long way.
And then, Mike, what happened?
Oh, yeah.
Well, I suppose shortly after we had won,
We
Ray
made
Darcy
national
had been in
press.
touch with us, come on the radio basically to talk about the do's and don'ts of Ladies' Days.
Of course,
We'd been
yeah.
on previously just with a fashion slot, and we're regularly on LMFM talking about fashion and stuff like that. But in the meantime, there was a lot of online vitriolic abuse now. I mean, it wasn't...
It was comments on
if it had been,
newspaper articles.
if it had been about our outfits, for example, if it had been, I don't like that shirt, or that isn't a real
If it was
Dickibo, or
criticising the
those
outfit.
trousers are all wrong, that would have been different. And we welcome all opinion on our blog, for example. We've never banned somebody for expressing an
This was a
opinion
bit
that
of
goes
a
against.
personal
it was
attack
pure
on people
homophobia.
they didn't know.
This was comparing homosexuality to bestiality. It was calling us perverts. It was saying what will be next, best dressed sheep or
yeah.
best dressed perverts. And it was a barrage, and it wasn't just one comment, it was several comments. And for around a week I sat on it, and it really, really was starting to bother me. Paul was just telling me, don't read that kind of crap. Generally our blog, it's more about the boutiques, it's very little of ourselves. That's the way we do it. But on this occasion I decided, it is a personal blog. I'm taking this very, very personally. I was bullied a lot as a teenager and as a young child going to school.
And you weren't putting up with it now.
And it was, and it wasn't just a little bit of bullying. It was physical.
Extreme.
The name calling was in the extreme. And I would be literally, when I was younger, looking out the window to see which boys were around. Should I take leave by my back door and jump the wall through the field to get to the shop, or to run to my grandaunt's house because I was very, very close to her, and her house was really a safe haven for me growing up. It was at the other end of the town, and I didn't meet some of the young lads that used to abuse me. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So it brought me back to that, even though I'm a 40-year-old man. When you're...
You don't look 40.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh,
I feel every bit of it. But I love you now.
Yeah, that's our big thing.
I suppose no matter what your age is, it brought me back to, when I was 15, 16 years of age. And
The feelings.
I have a 16-year-old son now myself, so I was thinking, I don't want him reading that crap about his dad or his dad's partner online. So what I decided to do was sit down, put it...
And he's a credit to you, by the way.
Thank you.
David.
Yeah,
he's a lovely guy.
he's he's great, and his mammy is amazing, and his nanny and the whole lot. We're very lucky. But I decided I'd sit down and write a post. It flowed. I was so annoyed in some respects. But it was a respectful post. It wasn't about poor me or poor us and look what's happened to us. It was just literally saying that, yes, we've come a long way in this country in terms of equality. We're both very proud of the marriage equality referendum and the yes vote. But there is still a certain echelon of Irish society that holds those homophobic, views. And that isn't freedom of speech, that's actually hate speech. Do you know what I mean? And I couldn't stand over that. I thought, yes, people are entitled to express an opinion, but not when it's taken to the level where it makes you feel like shit, where you're crying, where you're upset. That's not acceptable.
It's not okay
at all.
No.
Do you know what I mean?
Not. So basically, then your post on our blog was picked up by a journalist who contacted us through our blog, and it was basically printed in national press. Then RT got onto us again and invited us back into Ray Darcy's show, and basically turning negative into positive. Then the negative now sees us getting national exposure, gained us more followers on our blog. So
win-win.
Negative,
which was never the intention.
No. But it's how it happens.
We made lemons.
So.
What did they say? Lemons out of lemonade.
Lemonade out of
Lemonade out of lemons. Even. You'd know that we were in the park for the last 3 hours.
That is how it happens, though. That is you need something negative to happen for something positive to come from it.
You can turn it. If you're,
if you're positive about it, because if you interacted with the negative and just didn't go, like if you didn't step back and actually write the post, you could have just interacted with them.
Absolutely.
And had a little keyboard.
Sarah, 5 minutes after I sent it, I went, oh my God, should I have sent it?
Oh, I remember she ran to me.
I rang Shin and I said, Shin, I'm after putting up this post. Should I have written it?
No, and I said, it's done.
Yeah, it's done. You don't look back.
But I think it was the right thing to do, because there were followers of the page sending us messages saying, and screenshots, have you seen this kind of stuff?
Yes.
Which is how it came to our attention in the first place.
Yes.
Yeah. And I mean, as I say, we have never banned anybody for expressing an opinion on our page if once it's not derogatory. We've never made a song and dance out of, we've banned somebody. If we've had a comment here and there that has been very derogatory about us, we've quietly banned somebody without making a big production out of it. Do you know what I mean? Our blog is all about being positive, focusing on the fashion, having a laugh, but there's nothing that we overly highlight about ourselves. The whole purpose of the blog is fashion, is styling, and particularly in terms of Ireland, North and South.
The blog isn't your job, it's a hobby.
Absolutely a hobby,
but you have your full-time professions. I know that you run a very successful salon in Slane, House of Paul.
That's right.
I've had the privilege of visiting it on a few occasions.
Yes. I do. I'm full-time in the salon. I've had the salon now for 20 years. So I had worked for years with a large company and would have done a lot of fashion work, fashion shoots, and had an immense interest in fashion. And when I would be doing hair for a shoot or for a fashion show, I used to think I'd love to be more involved in the styling. And I always said if I was going to do something, I like to have a piece of paper to show that you've qualified at that. And I did the Grafton Academy in Dublin, the image consultancy and fashion styling course. So having the salon was a natural progression for me to go into the blogging and the fashion. We love promoting Irish fashion, Irish designers, milliners, jewellery makers, and there's immense talent.
And we've met the best friends.
Yeah.
I mean, not to mention loads of names, but Anne from Gas Boutique is just a complete lady. Fiona from Fusion Fashion, do you know what I mean? We've met a lot of people.
Another very talented young lady is Siobhan Daly Designs, who makes beautiful colours. Weeds-based girl.
I've only recently seen her pieces through yourself.
Very talented. Again, that girl works full-time as a teacher, but to meet and be able to promote people like that and have that pedestal now to do that is wonderful. Plus, admiring the boutiques who have come through very, very tough times in the last 10 years.
And I think as well, we're a couple, but we're two men, and I do think we're coming at it from a different angle.
Of course.
There's a lot of women out there want a man's opinion on what they're going to wear or how they're going to dress. And I think from that point of view...
And you call a spade now, to be fair. If something wasn't right, you say it.
And I suppose my years in the salon, as you could nearly say, was rare. I'm hairdressing since I was 16, over 30 years. But I have grown up, you might say, looking at magazines of women and women pointing out to me, isn't that a lovely dress now? If that had a sleeve, I'd love that if it had a sleeve, or I'd love a different neckline. You get to know what women like and what they want. Do you know what I mean? So this for us is...
So Mike is from a completely different background then.
Yeah, so my hobby was always the fashion.
Of course.
And the singing, I'm only joking.
He was on X Factor. Google it.
I know, I just said Google it.
I'm only figuring that up because we had such a laugh about that before the show. Shin was saying to Sarah, do you know Mike was on X Factor in 2010? And then she started bursting into Madonna's Frozen, which is what I sang, very high pitched, 4 notes.
Google it, but go on.
They said I was one of the politest, I suppose, contestants that they'd ever had. Shin, what was the question? See, I'm a different.
You're all right. It was from completely different backgrounds.
Yes.
Paul has the house of Paul on stage,
so
and your job
my day job is miles
different.
apart, I suppose, from the scene. So I'm a social care manager in an aftercare service working for Focus Ireland. I absolutely love working for Focus Ireland because there's such a genuine agency that works with obviously a lot of vulnerable young people, but
and
also
you've recently
families.
been promoted as well. Huge congratulations!
Thanks a million.
And very well deserved because you love your job.
I really do love my job. I worked for the last 4 years as a case manager on the Family Homeless Action Team, and there's a lot of families out there who are really, really struggling with family homelessness, you know. And a whole generation of children that are unfortunately growing up in hubs and in hotels and B&Bs. So Focus Ireland is one charity that is really worth donating to, you know, through, I think it's 50300 and just the word focus if you want to donate by text, but just to like their Facebook page, their Instagram and any other social media that they might be on, because a lot of times, I suppose, in the lead up to Christmas, there's so much help out there, and you know, Irish people are so generous and they've got big hearts. But oftentimes, once January sets in and people themselves are struggling with their own bills,
you do forget the one next in your face. You just completely forget about it.
For everyone,
yeah,
you know?
and I have to say, you know, that the staff in all these agencies do a tremendous job because you know, you are helping people that at the time you're meeting their needs where they're at. But sometimes, depending on their needs, they need a lot of emotional support as well. Mm-hmm. So we make sure as much as we can that we link them in with the right supports. And that's why I love the job. Do you know what I mean?
I have to say, like, I was so thrilled when Mike recently got the promotion because I felt if anybody ever deserved it, because I can vouch.
You're the cutest couple ever. You love each other.
This isn't just for the camera.
No.
I see this all the time, Sarah.
Brian is dead when I get home.
Yeah,
Stand up for you, Brian.
It feels like 5 minutes,
but you know,
together,
Mike,
I know.
5 years.
He puts 110% into his job. I've seen us being away even on a break somewhere. Mike would be doing work emails on his time off. He would take calls.
No, we're not supposed to do that, you know.
But you know, so
you have a love for what you do.
Yeah,
absolutely. But I just think that his promotion is so well deserved, and it's just what he's done. Be paid back for. You know, it's great.
Sarah, seriously, they are like this all the time.
I love it.
Just for the
like I feel like falling in love with the two of you.
Sarah, he's an amazing hairdresser, and he never touts his own horn, but he is.
He's fabulous.
Like
fabulous.
he's, you know,
I'm going to have to wrap things up. I know the time goes so
When
fast.
Doesn't it? I told you
We've
before we
gone well
started.
over time, but before we
so
go,
fast.
where do we look forward to seeing Funky Fashion Frolics 12 months from now?
Well, we're bowled over with the last 12 months where it's brought us in some of the opportunities, some of the events that we've been lucky enough to attend, some of the things we've gotten to do, the people we've met. Going forward, we'd just be very happy to see our following, you know, grow.
Of course.
And do as much.
Which it continues to grow, to be fair.
Well, yeah,
we are going to launch, we're hoping in the autumn winter, and we're going to possibly call it FFF.
It's
the Funky Fashion Frolic Jewellery and Accessory Range.
We
are developing.
Don't forget me.
We've been developing this website forever, but Jesus, you know, we have to learn it. We're not really tech savvy like that.
And we
there's
have
online payment systems, there's registration, there's all that kind of
set all
thing, you
that
know.
up.
We have sourced a beautiful range of jewellery.
Yeah.
As we say, we know now what women want, we know what sells, we know what's on trend, and we hope to be bringing it to you very soon.
And ladies, we'll be down giving you pieces to wear, and we'll be doing
look.
you know.
We'll take it.
And you'll be up to visit, Shin. You're coming up to see us soon anyway.
Oh, soon, yeah.
And you're bringing Sarah with you.
With me,
I
can't wait.
Yeah.
It's been an absolute pleasure, ladies. Lovely
Me
meeting
too.
Sarah.
Sarah, thank you so much.
Oh, look at this.
See you with for a change.
Absolutely.
Your mind's not
A pleasure.
And Shin, even though we're hitting the road shortly, I'll be on the phone within the hour.
Yes.
If I go 2 days without talking to her, I get withdrawals. What am I like?
We'll be up the motorway and I'll say who you're ringing. I'm just
stupid question. Lads, thanks so much.
Thank you so much,
It's
Shin.
a real pleasure. I love
pleasure.
both the two of you. Thanks so
We love
much
you
for
too.
coming
Thank
in.
you very much.
Sarah, thank you.
We love you too.
We'll be here again
next week
because we're going to be finishing up the show at the end of June, and we're going to be taking 2 months off, July and August, and we'll be back with a bang then again in September. But for the next few weeks,
and we've been watching every single episode. It's the conversations are so interesting. I'm sharing the hell out of everything. I love it.
I'm only joking.
I share it to my own page.
He knows better, otherwise I'd be on the phone. Did you not see tonight's show? Listen, thanks lads, thanks so much.
Thank you
all for joining us again tonight, and again huge thanks to Mike and Paul from Funky Fashion Frolics. Make sure you check out their blogs. You're on Facebook, you're on Instagram, Snapchat. They're on the whole lot. So don't forget to like, love and share the video, and we'll see you again next week. Thank you.